All right. Good evening, and welcome back to another live stream edition of Maddie's Rap with author and storyteller Matt D. Talford. If you are new to the channel, welcome. And for my returning subscribers, welcome back. Welcome back. We're gonna mix it up tonight, y'all. We're gonna mix it up. Got a little bit of a different vibe. It's not too different. I mean, it's a little bit familiar. Some of you have seen this type. But what's up, Bella? Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, Bella. Some of you have seen this type of setup before, where I come on here and I'm not going to call this a get lit. It's not that type of party, but you never know what happens. I mean, the title of tonight's video is thank you. Appreciate it, Bella. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Y'all tap that like button for me on your way in. Celestial Bronze Warrior 4937. What's up there? Karen, what's up, Karen? What's happening tonight, Karen? Y'all tap that like button for me on the way in. That's going to let more people know that we're live out here. So y'all can tell I'm serious. Y'all can tell I'm serious tonight, right? Y'all can't tell. But y'all going to be able to tell in a minute because I'm going to show you something, all right? Number one right there. Number two, got my towel. Number three, I got my water. We ain't playing around tonight, y'all. All gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes. So I'm going to wait for a couple more people to get in here. I'm going to play some royalty-free music, royalty-free reggae music, but I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to sit right here with y'all. Once I hit a threshold, maybe we get to the number 7. I'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to start the timer tonight, y'all, because I'm going to give myself 1 hour and 5 minutes tonight, y'all. 1 hour and 5 minutes. I'm cutting it off after that. Why? Because I don't have a layout for anything tonight. This is random messages that you may need to hear. I don't know. Whatever comes up is what's going to come out, all right? Y'all saw the thumbnail. Bella said my puppy watches Maddie's Rap too. I like that, Bella. I like that. I wish if I lived closer, our dogs could meet. That would be cool. I mean, but I don't know. My dog be acting kind of. He think he a human. He really thinks he a human. So he don't. He ain't too keen on other dogs, like especially when we out walking. He like, yo, what's up here? What's up? Yeah, no, man. Fall back. Don't be rolling up on my family. My dog is funny, but he's cool. I love him. He's a great dog. Anyway, let me turn some music on while we wait for a couple more people. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna play a minute and a half of this music, y'all, and we're gonna get started because I want to start the timer. Matter of fact, let me get the timer set up while I'm playing this music for y'all. All right, switch the mic up. Switch it up for y'all tonight. I ain't playing around tonight. I got my tea, my water. I'm ready to go, y'all. I'm ready to go. Because this is where we at right now on the Earth's timeline. It's getting like that. It is getting like that, y'all. Switch the vibes up a little bit. Y'all come on in. As you're coming in, tap that like button for me. It's going to help me out. It's going to help the algorithm. It's going to let more people know that we're live tonight. You're watching Maddie's Rap with your man, Matt D. Talford. What's up, Lady Dagger Status? What's up, Lady Dagger Status? You know, this one is hard for me tonight, Lady Dagger Status, because the Giants are on Monday night tonight. That might be why I'm timing this thing for 1 hour and 5 minutes. I want to see what's happening. Even though we suck, you know, we got a nice little rookie quarterback there. He's doing his thing. So let me see what I got here. Let me find my timer, get this thing queued up. We're gonna get it started. All right, we got 8 people. I'm gonna turn this thing down at 4.5 minute mark. We're at 3 minutes and 55 seconds. You say you got it on right now. See, yeah. If I turn it on, I'm not going to focus. I could turn it on. I got a TV here in the office. I could turn it on. But if I turn it on, I'm not going to focus. I'm not going to focus. I know me. So I need to stay focused on this message tonight. Because one of the things I want y'all to interact with me tonight. If y'all got some questions, this is like random topics. Now, in the thumbnail, it says not so random topics, right? Because honestly, y'all, the downloads were coming in so much today, and they were so scattered, like non-cohesive, so to speak, that I was just like, I think I need to just do this like it's going to be random topics tonight, like rapid fire. So we're going to see what's going to happen here. But if y'all got questions, y'all got a comment, y'all got something y'all want me to spit on, y'all get that. Y'all drop that in the comments as we're going along here, all right? It's interactive tonight. I want to switch this up a little bit. I'm going to be back live on Wednesday for the full moon gratitude video. So that's coming up. The full moon is officially going to peak on Thursday. This is a super moon in the sign of Gemini. So we'll go live on Wednesday night and talk about things that we're going to be giving gratitude for based on where you have Gemini in your natal chart. All right. But I'm going to take the music on down now, y'all, so we can get started. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Tap that like button as you're coming in. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. And thank y'all for allowing me to play a little DJ there. I like that. I like that. Always kind of secretly wanted to be, not secretly, just always had a little part of me back in the day that wanted to DJ, because I feel like those late night DJs were cool. I was like, man, these are the coolest cats in the world. Like, you know, when you got third house placements and you find yourself, you know, doing this type of work, you I could tell y'all one of my earliest. I told y'all this is random topics tonight. Whatever comes up comes out. I remember one of my earliest examples of well, when I was a kid, of course, all the kids knew Howard Cosell back in the day. I'm telling my age a little bit, but my dude was Ed Bradley. Ed Bradley, to me, the late great Ed Bradley from 60 Minutes. Ed Bradley was to me, he was the epitome of interviewers. Like he just had this cool laid back style, and he just was smooth with it. So Ed Bradley was my guy. I was like, if I could be anybody, like if I could do it like anybody, it would be Ed Bradley. But my thing is, I always like to give respect to the original artists. I don't ever try to copy anybody. I'm like, I got my own thing, but everybody's got their benchmark. You know, for Kobe Bryant, for example, we know his benchmark was Michael Jordan. He tried to do it better. I'm an MJ guy. I'm still, even though I hated Michael being a Knicks fan, I'm still gonna give the nod to Michael as the greatest I've ever seen. But anyway, we got 6 people in the live, y'all. So we're gonna get ready to get this thing started. Random messages that you may need to hear. Whatever comes up, comes out. In this open forum edition of Maddie's Rap Live, we will topic hop and drop any random jewels that come down and through. Now, I've got a list of random topics that occurred to me today, as I said earlier, y'all. But we'll see where this thing goes. Now, y'all, if y'all got any questions, y'all bring them, drop them. Anything y'all want me to touch on, y'all drop it in the comments as I'm going by. If y'all got anything, oops, I didn't hit my timer. Let me get that started. All right, I got this timer set for 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 30 seconds. We threw the 30 seconds in there for gravy. Why not, right? All right, y'all, my timer's going. 1 hour, 5 minutes. All right, let's get this thing started, y'all. So now let me get off of this thing here and open up my bullet points. I got some bullet points, not really notes. Again, I wanted to chart these downloads as I was getting them, and I'm like, wow, this is dope. Wow, that's dope. Wow, that's dope. They're not cohesive, so let me just, whatever comes up, comes out. Something else might come up as I'm going. I might even scratch what I got on here. So I got about 11 points. Mike's silly comedy 1095. Did you start doing readings again? No, Mike, I've turned them off. I don't know that I'm going to start doing them the way I was. If I do, it's going to be an evolution, and doing them in a way that probably is a little bit more refined. The way I've done them in the past, and I love my clients, and those of you that are watching that are past clients of mine, y'all know, y'all got direct access to me. So if you got any questions on anything on your chart, just hit me up. Y'all know, y'all are grandfathered in. But Mike, no, I'm not doing any more right now. I don't know if and when I'm going to start doing them again. 2026 is looking like I may be going in a completely different direction. I'm already feeling the pull to go in that direction now. So Elise Monet George, what message do I need? We're going to find out. And y'all let me know at the end of this. She says she used to listen to Kissing After Dark 107.5 back in the day. Yeah, you know, they called that the Quiet Storm in my time, Lady Dagger Status. They called it the Quiet Storm. But those are my favorite DJs. You're listening to the Quiet Storm on 107.5. Whatever. They was just so smooth, you know, and that was back in the days when they had the radios before you had this internet, just streaming everything. You had the terrestrial radio, and you had your boom box, and you had the little red stereo light there. And you wanted to make sure you got that dial just right, so you was picking up that signal clean. You had a cassette tape in the deck with the record button and the pause button, record play and pause pushed. So when your song came on, you could hit the pause button and record it. Life was just different back then. It was different. So anyway, Elise. So I don't know. We're gonna see what's happening, but I'm going down a list here of just some random topics that are not so random. And then if y'all got anything y'all want to ask me, any questions or anything like that, I considered breaking out the tarot deck tonight to do yes, no questions, but I said I may not have time to do that with me trying to time this thing down to 1 hour, but we'll see what happens. So let me begin by, and by the way, those of y'all that are coming in, please tap the like button. It's really going to help the algorithm and let more people know that we're live. Now, let me begin with the movie Wicked. Wicked. Okay, so in my last live stream, you guys might remember I was talking to you all about the Wizard of Oz and what, you know, the parallels between the Wizard of Oz and real life astral traveling and dreaming, and how, you know, when you look at the movie The Wizard of Oz and you look at the things that Dorothy did in that movie, and the different spells that were broken, and the upgrades that people got in Kansas by the work that they did in Oz while they were all asleep, or while Dorothy was asleep or whatever, and how the storm came through, tower moment, right? Universal tower moment, change energy. Some say we're going to see something similar all the way around the earth coming up here soon. Some people think that might be triggered by Three-Eye Atlas. We do know that there's biblical prophecy that talks about this switch that's going to take place, but we don't know when it's going to happen. But I think a lot of you may be feeling it, just like you're feeling the weather right now. I mean, you go outside. Look, I'm in the Carolinas, and let me tell you something. I just got done walking the dog a little while ago, and it feels like it could snow at any moment where I am. And even though snow's not in the forecast, but those of you that have lived long enough, you know that right before it snows, you can feel that bite in the air, and you feel that little bit of moisture, and there's just this tingling. I used to feel it as a kid in New York. We knew when it was going to snow. You didn't have to turn on the weather forecast because you'd be outside, and it wouldn't be wet, but it'd be cold, and you feel that little bit of bite tapping you on your cheeks, and you're like, yeah, that's snow coming. And before you know it, white stuff coming down. So I think a lot of us are feeling that energetically right now with what the energies are and the frequencies are in the earth. You feel something's coming. You just don't know when, but you're like, there is no way that there's not some major event unraveling or unfolding that's going to, you know, hit us out of the blue, because we can feel it. When you're tapped in, this is why for years I've been putting the frequency scale on the screen, showing y'all, hey, this is where your emotions map to these different frequencies and these numeric numbers and all of this. Keep your frequencies high. Y'all, I wasn't doing that just to blow hot smoke. I wasn't doing that just to pass time. I was doing that because the more people that upgrade their frequencies, the more light it brings into the earth, and the more you're going to be ready for whatever's coming. You do not want to be in low vibrational frequency when whatever is coming, whatever was prophesied to come, shows up. So you got to keep your emotions out of that lower state. You're in the energy of sadness. You're in the energy of grief. You're in the energy of anger. Figure out why in the heck you're in that energy and flip that bad boy. Have the courage. When you look at that scale, let me put it on the screen. I told y'all this is like open mic night. Let me see if I can't find that old picture and put it on the screen here. When you've got, I haven't put this up in a while, so maybe somebody needs to see it again. Let's see. Emotional, vibrational, frequency scale. Let's see. Let's get that image up, y'all. Let's see. Let's go big with this one. All right. I'll share this one. It's different, but I'll share it. Not the one I normally have on the screen, but let's go with it. All right, right here, y'all. I've been showing this to y'all for years. I haven't done it at all this year. This might be the first time this year, but when you look at that midpoint, now there's some scales out there to get more granular with the different emotions that you can feel. I like this one because it's pretty basic, and it's just pretty basic. But when you look at the middle here, that transition from being contracted, that contraction versus expansion is your auric field. When somebody's high vibrational, they got a huge auric field, and you can feel that person's light. You can see their light when they're a ways off. When somebody's got a contracted, vibrational frequency, a contracted auric field, you can feel that too. The temperature is different. That expanded one is warm. Certain people come in the room gets warmer. And then other people come in the room and the room gets colder. And those are the people that are, your auric field is your energetic defense. Pardon me, y'all, I'm sipping tea, but that could have been a confirmation burp too. Your auric field is your defense. The bigger it is, the wider your defense is, okay? The wider your defense is. It's like boxing. If I can keep you out here, you're further away from my face. Now, these fighters that you see do this right here, they're inviting themselves to get punched. Even if they got their guard up, you're still absorbing those punches. But when you got your hands out here and you can slip, and it's the same way. The further your defenses are away from you, the harder it is for low vibrational energy to touch you. Matter of fact, you repel it the bigger your arc field is. But the more contracted your arc field is, the easier it is for these lower vibrational frequencies to come in on you. So if you're in this pride energy here, if you're in anger, desire, fear, grief, apathy, shame, guilt, you got to have the courage. That's the midline right there. That's that transition point. That's the swing point. Courage is the bottom rung of the high vibrational frequency ranges. So when you're in these lower frequencies, have the courage to address what it is that got you in that energy and then pull yourself up. Neutrality, that's a high vibration. Willingness is a high vibration. Acceptance. God grant me the strength or the wisdom to accept the things that I can't change. Whatever that serenity prayer is. That acceptance, that's a powerfully high vibration. Okay? So I wanted to share that with somebody. Somebody needed to see that. Okay? Now, so getting back, I know I got off track a little bit, but this is open mic night. And you know, I'm going on a timer. So back to the movie Wicked. I gave y'all a quick rundown of why I talked about the Wizard of Oz in the last live stream. But one of you recommended, or one or two of you recommended, hey, you know, Wicked is that's doing a deeper dive into it. And if you get a chance, check that out. It talks about the backstory with the Wicked Witches and, you know, how they got to be who they were, whatever. And y'all, I'm gonna tell you something. I pulled it up. I tried to watch it. I tried to watch it on Amazon. I think it's on Amazon Prime Video. I made it probably, at best, I made it about 60 seconds into that movie, and then I had to turn it off. So I never watched it. You might be wondering why. In that opening sequence, and now again, y'all, this goes back to the lessons my mother taught us when we were little. Like, she's like, look, you in school, they give you a quiz, you're not sure which answer it is. Whatever the first thing is that comes to your mind, you answer like that, go with it. Because a lot of times, if you talk yourself out of that first answer, you end up getting it wrong. So she used to always say, follow your first mind. That rings true to me to this day. To this day, y'all. And I'm a grown man, been a grown man for a while. But those lessons that my mom taught us when we were younger about follow your first mind, and my dad said it too, but I used to hear it a lot from my mother. Follow your first mind. My first mind was not to watch that movie. For some reason, the title didn't resonate with me. And then I looked at the actresses, some of the actresses that were starring in it. And I'm like, you know, these aren't people that I really vibe with. But so I'm not going to watch it. But then I hit a recommendation. I'm like, all right, maybe I'll go back and check it out now. And let me tell you something. I didn't make it 60 seconds into it. There's something, and some of you out there with water moon placements, especially if you got a Cancer moon, you're gonna feel me on what I'm about to say. When you've got water in your moon sign, especially when it's the Cancer moon, Cancer is the sponge, it absorbs. You can feel and you can pick up on different things that you can pick up on things that are high vibrational. You can pick up on things that are low vibrational. And I'm not saying that I'm not calling it a low vibrational movie, because I know several of you watching this probably saw it, and I've heard people say it was a great film, but everybody's wired differently. I definitely have to watch what I take in, because listen, this is why I watch places I go. I'm an emotional sponge. I absorb energy. I'm still trying to learn how to control it, but it's just like I'm sitting there watching that, y'all, and within that first 60 seconds, the sound frequencies that were playing, I felt like they were attacking me. And I'm like, okay, do I want to sit through this just to get to the script and see? I turned it off. I said, nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. So I say that to say, some of you all that, you know, some of the stuff that you see coming out, y'all, check in with your higher self before you absorb. Now, if you got the wiring to be able to watch certain things or listen to certain things, then it's going to bounce right off of you. This ain't for you. But for those of you that are sensitives, especially my empaths out there, be very careful of what you're watching or listening to or taking into your spiritual channels, your eyes and your ears. Because, and some of y'all, the nose, I talked about that in my book, From Fear to Faith, the Survivor Story, about the 5 pathways into man. That nose pathway, that is both physical and spiritual. Because a lot of y'all are so tapped in right now, you can smell people that are not in the room with you. You can smell energies that are not in the room. You know when somebody high vibrational spiritually is visiting you versus when a low vibrational entity has entered into your space, because you can smell it. If all of a sudden ain't nothing happening, ain't nobody in your house farted, you ain't got no dog that farted, nothing like that, and then all of a sudden you start smelling something that smells foul, that's a spirit. That's a spirit. This is why certain spiritual people keep sage, why they keep Palo Santo, why they keep white sage or red or dragon's blood sage and things of that nature, why they keep incense, why they keep eucalyptus and boiled eucalyptus flowers or herbal essences and stuff. They do this because they are so sensitive and so tuned in that they can pick up the scent of something that is low vibrational that is trying to enter their space. So I'm sharing this with somebody because somebody might need to hear it. Okay. So when you are extremely sensitive, spiritually, energetically, you're an empath, be careful of what you voluntarily bring into your space. Sometimes you go into spaces to transmute them. Sometimes you don't have any idea what's in there, because if you did, you wouldn't go in there anyway. But the Most High put a gift in you to send you into places where you can bring the light and shine the light into a dark place to drive out something that its time is up. That's why a lot of you all have gifts that are coming online in this earth realm right now, because this is the season for the darkness to be driven out. This is why the darkness is going haywire. They're going haywire right now. Turn the news off. Don't listen to when people are coming to you telling you, hey, they said they're gonna do this. They said they're gonna do that. Box it out. Say they said whatever. They can't do it. They can't. They can only do it by telling you, by drafting or devising a plan for you, then getting you to repeat it. Because by you being a creator, I've said this countless number of times on this channel, by you being a creator and repeating their intent, you create it for them. And that is their design. They do not have the power to create something low vibrational for you, but they pull your frequency down because you're already a creator to get you to create something low vibrational for yourself. And they harvest that energy. It's time to starve them out, y'all. It's time to starve them out. Okay. So that was on the movie Wicked. Let me see if anybody's got any comments on that before I move on to my next point. She said, yeah, fair use. Okay, let me go up because y'all got a few here. Let me see. Let's see. Fair use. Hi, Mike. Okay, got that. Grant me the serenity of the things I cannot change. Let me put that on the screen. Grant me the serenity of the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you, fair use. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Y'all tap that like button. I'm going to tell you, they've been trying to throttle your boy down. This is how you know the darkness is spazzing out. But I did a live stream earlier this year where I said the darkness is spazzing out. They were spazzing out then. They're really spazzing out now. It's probably 4x right now. It is probably 4x. They're going all out right now. They're going mad trying to hold on to I just saw 22:22 on the clock. That's your spirit confirmation. They're going all out right now to try to hold on to a crumbling empire. But it's time. It's time for them to crumble. It's time for them to crumble. So it'd be easier for them to just let go. If y'all the dark side and you're watching, it'd be easier for you to just let go. Okay. All right. So let me keep it moving. Because y'all done. Y'all time is up. Ain't no prophecy that's got y'all doing nothing. This is why I tell y'all to study prophecy. This is why I've been so big on this channel with prophecy for the last 4 years. Why? Because when you know prophecy and you know identity, you know what's coming and you know your lot in it. That is why the base of my platform has been prophecy and identity for the last 4 years. Prophecy tells you what's coming. Identity tells you who's getting what. A lot of people don't want to talk identity now because why? There have been so many lies told about identity for the longest. But I'm going to get to that. So let me read some more comments here. Thank y'all for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. Fair, you said, my 11-year-old client forced me to watch Wicked. 11-year-old client. I like that. That's cute. That is too cute. She said, there's something about the lady who plays the witch that does not sit with me, and I cannot seem to watch the movie. Wow. Is that Cynthia Erivo? Let me know if that's the main character, because once I checked out less than 60 seconds in, I didn't care anymore. But I do know that Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande star in it. Look, I don't want to talk bad about as an artist. I'm sure she's a great artist, but there's something energetically about Cynthia Erivo that does not jive with me. We just don't jive. Something energetically about her. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I did feel some type of way with her being chosen to play the role of Harriet Tubman when you had some very fine American actresses that could have played Harriet in that movie, but they go and choose a British-born Nigerian to play a role that she perhaps has no ancestral lineage to. So that was a little bit of an issue for me. But I keep it transparent with y'all on here. I ain't got nothing. I ain't faking no moves. I wasn't good with that. It is what it is. I saw that back in the day, but that was probably the last slave movie I watched, because y'all know for a while what they would do every year around January, February is show another slave movie, show another downtrodden, quote unquote, black person movie. And I'm like, you know what? Y'all do this movie, and then you doing Black History Month after that. This is a pattern. This is an energy harvesting pattern. Nah, y'all can't have my energy no more. Eat off somebody else. You can't eat here. We're done. We're done. So yeah. So if that was if Cynthia Erivo's a character, that then I feel you on that, Lady Dagger status. She said I heard a few minutes of it and was like, nope, yeah. You got to be careful when you're sensitive. She said that's why I'm so tired right now. Gotta watch what comes in your mind at all times. That is absolutely correct, Bella. That is absolutely correct. Oh goodness, fair use. I've always wanted to see Wicked on Broadway, but never could get there while Manziel was there. She said, I'm glad I'm not the only person who didn't get good vibes from the movie's name or the cast. I didn't watch it either. Okay, y'all, you see, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know that I'm not alone. Fair, you said I kept falling asleep while it was on, but I eventually caught it. Got it. And you could be wired differently, fair use, where everybody can't, like my people with fire moons and air moons, they can handle stuff a little bit differently than people with earth moons and water moons. That's just an observation I've made since I've been studying and observing astrology and natal chart astrology. Your earth and your water signs are feminine. So let me say, people with feminine energy moons, they tend to be a lot more sensitive than those with masculine energy moons. But everybody's got a purpose for which they were created. So yeah, she said I probably would have just watched a few of the other people's reviews on the movie if it wasn't for her. Okay, and see, you probably gleaned something from that was probably useful for you, fair you. So this is why I really rely on people like you, because I can go and watch you guys' synopses of these films just to get an idea on what it was and see if there was something in it for me. I haven't watched Sinners. I haven't. I watched the trailer and then I heard people say it was good. I watched the trailer two more times after that. And I was like, nah, my spirit ain't jiving with it. I can't make myself watch it. So, but I've heard other people's reviews of it, and it is what it is. There were the lessons that I needed from it. I got secondhand from the people that saw the film. My spirit won't let me watch it. So, when you're an empath or sensitive, sometimes you take on these energies so that you can transmute them and put the light back into the universe. But sometimes it takes depending on how heavy it is, it can take a while to transmute some of those energies. So when given a choice, you're like, nah, I'm good. And then of course there's that universal tower card moment where you don't get a choice. Boom, it's on you out of nowhere. And then the Most High lets you know, well, you know what? If you couldn't handle it, I wouldn't have brought that to you. So I brought it to you because you can handle it. And I brought it to you because A, you're going to be built from it. But B, there's a work that I'm going to do through you to transmute that thing. And everything's about transmuting energy, because energy is neither created nor destroyed. It just is. So everything's about transmuting it. When it's darkness, y'all are putting these places to transmute that energy and turn it into light. And that darkness does not want to be transmuted, because then the darkness in effect is destroyed or sent to another realm, really sent to another realm. It doesn't want it. It wants to hold on to whatever it has. Why do you think the legions went out of the man and requested to go into the herd of swine? And that's something else about swine. That tells you that swine is at a low enough vibration where it could take on those energies. It took me a while to figure out why I needed to stop eating pork. And it didn't have any. I've heard the stories. Oh, it's got the parasites and everything. I get that. Parasites exist in fruit and vegetables as well. I get all of that. But the thing that I understood is that swine meat in and of itself, and I'm not knocking anybody who eats it. If you eat it, do you. What did the Messiah say? He said it's not what goes into the man that defiles him, but what comes out of him. Okay, he said anything you put in your mouth is going to come out through your intestines. He said, but what's in your heart? That's what defiles a man. So I don't get on people for what they eat. Everybody's got their own journey. Everybody's got their own experience they signed up to come to earth for. However, I will tell you for a fact that there's certain animals, there's certain foods that are low vibrational that you do not want to eat. Their vibrational frequency is low. So when you eat them, you're lowering your own frequency because you brought it into your arc field. Okay. Let me see. I'll tell family, don't come showing me something low vibrational. Send me anything with violence. I choose what I watch. I keep telling them I got brothers I tell that same thing to all the time. Lady Dagger status said they will go gently into the night. Emancipation was the last one I watched. That was the Will Smith one. I didn't see that one. I didn't see it. How was it? Was it good? He said, wow, I am the same way and I don't force myself to watch it. It was a nanny assignment. She was really my client. That is too cute. That is too cute. I like that. That is too cute. All right, y'all, let me move on to my next point. And if y'all got something y'all want me to comment on, please do. Please put it in the comments. Next. What do I have here? Okay. Interesting. So I'm listening to some commentary today, and I hear somebody talking about the apostles, the different apostles of the New Testament. And it occurred to me at that moment, it was a download, it was an epiphany moment where I was able to connect the dots and listen to the word apostle. And I heard a root word in there that showed me, or that revealed to me, that what the Matrix did was they flipped the true work of the original apostles and turned it into the reverse of the energy that they represented. What do you mean, Matthew? That's interesting. Let me show you the root word that I saw and heard in apostle. Watch this. I'm gonna bring this up on the screen for y'all. Hang on a minute. Let's see. Okay, let me share this to the screen for y'all. Apostle. Keep that word in mind. Apostle. This was a powerful, powerful revelation for me. Showing you, I'm telling you, this is the end, y'all. We are at the end. Make no mistake about it. All of the truth is coming out right now. All of the tea is coming out right now. Apostle. Y'all watch this download I got. Okay, as you can see at the top of the window here, Adam Online. Let me make sure I'm sharing. Okay, we're good. Apostate, 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 apostle. Okay, watch this. An apostate, a noun, is one who forsakes his religion or faith. From Old French, apostat, and directly from the late Latin, apostata, which form was also used in Middle English. From Greek, apostasia, apostasis, defection, desertion, rebellion. Okay, to defect, literally to stand off. From apo or apo, which is off, away from, of histani, to set, place, literally cause to stand. Okay, the word was used from the middle 14th century in non-religious situations. One who has forsaken the party, opinion, etc., to which he previously adhered. Now, let me do this. Apostasy, the renunciation, abandonment, or neglect of established religion. So when you take that and now you apply the word apostle, and I didn't look this one up in the etymology dictionary, but let's have a look at it now. Old English, apostle, messenger, especially the 12 witnesses sent forth by Jesus to preach his gospel. Okay, messenger, envoy, literally person sent forth from apostellane, send away, send forth. Okay, now, so they changed things a bit, but if you look at it, the current form of the word predominant since the 16th century is influenced by Old French apostle. From the same late Latin source, the meaning is a missionary who brings Christianity to a new region or people. Okay, now, how did we get this root, APO, to stand away, apostasy, renunciation or abandonment of or neglect of established religion, to apostle, meaning one who brings Christianity? Y'all see that? Y'all see the flip? Y'all see the flip? Apostate is a noun, one who forsakes his religion or faith. Now, y'all know the Messiah was a-religious. So everything he taught went against the religious establishment. It went against the principles and the doctrines of the religious leaders of his day. What was he teaching? He was teaching spiritually liberating principles. He was teaching energy, frequency, and vibration. That is what he was teaching. He was teaching that the kingdom of God is within you, not outside of you. So these apostles were those who had broken away from the religious establishment and were teaching the same principles that were taught to them by the Messiah. How did it get flipped and turned into these people being messengers of Christianity? How did they go from being messengers of the teachings of the Christed one to messengers of Christianity? Y'all make that make sense? What's up, Hotshot? Thank you for joining. Y'all see that? Y'all make that make sense? We went from apostate and apostasy, meaning one who abandons religion or faith or a faith, to apostle, meaning one who brings the faith and brings religion. It's a hijack. It's a hijack right in front of your face. Right in front of your face. right in front of your face. Wonder what happens if we put apocrypha into the etymology. That's a great question. Let me see. Let me see there. Hang on a second. Now I know that the word apocrypha means hidden, but let me take a look. Let me bring this on the screen for y'all. Uh-oh. Apocrypha. The apocryphal books of the Bible, from late Latin apocrypha, from neuter plural of apocryphus, secret, not approved for public reading. Why would it be secret and not approved for public reading unless it was representative of apostasy, which is breaking away from religion? From the Greek apokryphos, hidden, obscure, hard to understand. You can see the connection now. You can see the connection between apocrypha and apostasy, and apostate, and apostle in the original sense, not this hijacked definition. The non-biblical sense of writing of doubtful authorship or authenticity is from 1735. That's the hijack, because the 1611 King James Version and versions before that had those books included. See the date stamp there? 1611 to 1735. So this meaning came about 124 years after the publishing of the King James Bible, the 1611 edition, which included the Apocrypha. That was a great question there, Fair Use. That was a great question. No, I understood it. I understood. It's cool. I understood the misspelling. That's cool. It's cool. So y'all think about that next time you think about apostle, because they made these apostles ones that promoted Christianity, right? But if you look at the original root of apostate and apostasy, they went against the religious establishment, which would now make sense to why they were persecuted and tortured and killed. When someone who is teaching apostasy is successful, it crushes the control of the religious establishment. It breaks the control. He came to set the captives free. Where are the accounts of him kicking in prison doors? Which captives? Mental captives, religious bondage, captives in their minds and heart. Where the mind goes, the body follows. It's all coming out now, y'all. It's all coming out. So I wanted to share that with y'all. Next up, if you got questions or comments, leave them in the chat there and we'll get to it. Okay. Next up, 3i Atlas prompts the UN to initiate planetary defense exercises. Why? Let me show y'all some articles here. Let's show y'all some articles. This is from MSN.com, and this was published on Thanksgiving Day. Okay. 11/27. That was Thanksgiving. Okay. A newly observed visitor from interstellar space is now prompting the same mix of scientific scrutiny and public speculation. The object, known as 3i Atlas, has drawn attention from global agencies and astronomers after entering the solar system at high speed and exhibiting behavior that some find unusual. Confirmed exercise. The United Nations, the UN, and International Asteroid Warning Network, IAWN, have clarified that 3i Atlas is being used in a scheduled planetary defense exercise. According to a document released by both bodies, the comet presents a great opportunity for testing observation techniques. Where does testing observation techniques, how does that go together with planetary defense? Planetary defense. UN launches planetary defense test. So you're just testing a great opportunity for testing observation techniques. Y'all, they can't even lie straight. Let's look at this other one from the Times of India. If you're going to look at news, Look at the American one, and then look at the international one to find the difference. Okay, the truth is typically somewhere in the middle, right? Three-Eye Atlas becomes the UN's official target in planetary defense exercise. They spin it different over there. They spin it different over there in India. What makes this interstellar visitor worth a global campaign? Remember when Trump got in office in 2016 and he stood up Space Force? Why would you need a Space Force when you've never had one? And don't come on here and tell me it's because, well, in case somebody shoots an ICBM into space, we can capture it. No, the Air Force had protocols for that before there was ever something called a Space Force. Okay, it was called Strategic Air Command. They used to call it SAC. Okay, you had SAC and TAC before they changed the terminology. I'm telling my age a little bit, but you had TAC, Tactical Air Command. Those are the fighter wings and all of that other stuff. SAC was Strategic Air Command. Those were your long range bombers, your missiles, all of that stuff was Strategic Air Command. So don't tell me well, it's because there might be ICBM. No, he called it Space Force. Why did he stand up a Space Force? I knew something back then. I was like, they must know something. What is the statement? Millionaires study science, billionaires study astrology. And there's another spin on it that say millionaires don't study astrology, billionaires do. I told y'all, people in power throughout recorded history and even oral history have always had something. The rulers have always had something as their right-hand people. They were called seers, oracles, or prophets. They all served pretty much the same purpose. They needed to inform the rulers of what was coming because the ruler's job was to stay in power. So they kept a seer on staff. You think that's changed today? That's why somebody stood up a Space Force. Let's read this. The interstellar comet 3-Eye Atlas has recently drawn significant global attention, sparking both fascination and debate among scientists and the general public as it travels through our solar system. A key question has emerged. Is this observation purely scientific, or is it part of a formal, coordinated planetary defense exercise? That's what they called it the first time. That's what the UN called it. They didn't call it an observation technique study. Despite involvement from international organizations, confusion has persisted, highlighting the need for clarity. Official documentation from the UN and the IAWN confirms that 3-Eye Atlas is indeed the focus of a structured planetary defense campaign, as reported by the International Business Times. This initiative allows experts worldwide to test observation techniques, Daddy threw it in there again, refine tracking methods, and strengthen global readiness against potential future near-Earth object threats. This exercise underscores both the comet's scientific value, I don't know why y'all still calling it a comet, and its role in global preparedness. Okay, I'm not going to read this entire article for time's sake, but y'all can check this out. It's at the Times of India. Now, let's keep it moving. So, why do y'all think they initiated a planetary defense exercise, and why would they do it on Thanksgiving when nobody's paying attention? I think they know what's coming. These people read prophecy. They know what's coming. They know 3-Eye Atlas is not a comet. I don't even know why they're still calling it that. But if it's not a comet, what in the world do you think you're going to do with a heavenly vehicle? I'm going to call it a heavenly vehicle, a vehicle that came from the heavens, the skies above. What's on the other side of the skies above? Or the seas below, because some people say some of the stuff comes up out of the ocean. So we know nothing about the layers to this multiverse that we live in, but somebody in power is afraid right now. Okay. Now, the next download I got was Cupid. Okay. Cupid. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about when I say Cupid. Cupid doesn't lie, but you won't know until you give it a try. Give it a try. All right, y'all. Let's find a good image. Let's go with this one right here. I know some of y'all too young to know about 112. I know some of y'all a little bit too young for that. That's before y'all time. That's not what I want. This guy, Cupid. Amazing epiphany I had about this guy, Cupid. Okay, so some of y'all, fair use said, I posted on my TikTok the article I found about NASA issuing evacuation warnings. Wow. Wow. Fair use. If you don't mind, put your TikTok in the chat there. Some people might want to go check that out. I know I do. So put your TikTok in the chat there if you don't mind. Now, Cupid, this guy right here. Let me bring him back to the screen. Let me tell y'all what Cupid really is, because a lot of people we would see this growing up. We still see it. You see it on that holiday that people celebrate called Valentine's Day. I don't celebrate it anymore. I haven't done it for probably over a decade. But anyway, this guy right here. Let me tell you what you're looking at on the screen right there. Y'all ever hear the term spirit babies? They hide this stuff right in front of us, y'all. They don't want you to know that you're actually an eternal being, and that you live, you're born, you live, you transition, you're graded on the works that you did, and you get a new body, you get a new assignment, get a new birth chart, all of that stuff. They don't tell you that. But let me tell you about this guy right here, Cupid. When you see these cartoons, you see these shows, these movies, whatever, oh, Cupid's arrow shot these two people and they fell in love, whatever. That is a spirit baby that has chosen his parents or her parents. This is a spirit baby. So whenever y'all see Cupid moving forward, understand, overstand, and understand what you're looking at. That is the imagery that they use to give you all a concept of something that they don't tell you, which is there are these things called spirit babies. And your children do choose their parents. Your children choose their parents. So when you get struck with love or lust, and a baby is born of that transaction, that was Cupid hitting you. Okay, that's a spirit baby. That spirit baby says, "Hey, these are my parents. Let me shoot this arrow to both of them, into both of them." Okay, all right. So that's just something that y'all might find fun. Y'all can play with that. But Cupid, spirit baby. That's all Cupid is a spirit baby. Y'all have fun with that. All right. Let me keep it moving. Lower on my timer. I got about 26 minutes left, and I'm moving pretty good. So now y'all may have noticed, for those of y'all that have been watching me for a few years, y'all know that I'm usually pretty good about making predictions for the year coming well in advance. Let me tell you something. This is where are we? December the 1st. So we got basically 30 days left in calendar year 2025, and then we're in 2026. And I have not dropped a prediction video. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a prediction video. Well, you know what? Let me take that back. I have been telling y'all what's coming in February based on the astrological transits of Saturn and Neptune and Aries, all of those together. So a lot of people are talking about this, that, and the third. What's coming for 2026? What I see coming for 2026 is going to be good for some, but it ain't going to be good for a whole lot of people. I see war. I see war coming in 2026. Let's do a little bit of numerology. Okay, we know that we're in a 9-year right now. 2025, 2 + 2 + 5 is 9, right? So 2026, 2 + 2 + 6 is 10. Now numerology, you drop the 0, and then you bring in you just reduce that down to a 1. I take the 0. Okay. Why do I take the 0? Well, because you got 3 signs that rule over houses that have double-digit numbers. So I take that 0 and the 1. 1 is Aries energy. That's the energy of conflict. Okay. It's the energy of appearance as well. It's the energy of appearance. Aries rules over the first house of appearances. Okay. And when the baby comes out, that's your rising sign. That's Aries. Aries rules over that first house. So that's Aries. Something is going to appear in 2026. Okay. These 2 planets that you talked about, Matt, Neptune and Saturn. Neptune to me represents spirituality. It can represent delusion too, but Neptune is the planetary ruler of the 12th house. The 12th house is the bridge between life and death, the present life and the afterlife, your current life and this realm, this living realm, and the ancestral realm, the current life and past lives, heaven and earth. It is the bridge between all of those things. It bridges the intangible with the tangible. That's the 12th house. Neptune rules over that. So when you got Neptune, the ruler of the 12th house bridge, coming into conjunction with Saturn, the planet that represents karma, structure, order, time, karma. I'm going to come back to that karma, karmic lessons, sternness, karma, meeting up both at 0 degrees. I've told y'all for a while now, the 0 degree is the only degree of ether. Every other degree from 1 through 29 is assigned to an element, one or more elements, depending on what that number is. I like to take, some people just use one element or one sign per number. If it's a double digit number, Matt does the reduction, because what I've found is that the secondary energies also apply. All right. So when but the 0 degree does not go with any of those elements: water, earth, fire, and air. It is the only degree of ether. And y'all heard me in my last video breakdown, 0 is the God number. Okay. So when you've got Neptune, the planet that rules over the bridge between the spirit realm and the physical realm, meeting with the planet of karma in the sign of the warrior, Aries, what do y'all think is going to happen? That's war, karma being presented in the energy of war, and war perhaps coming from across the bridge between the spirit realm and the physical realm. And now y'all got this thing out here that's called 3i Atlas that nobody knows anything about. So I think we're going to see some resets coming in 2026, some physical and energetic resets coming in 2026. Now, what do we also know? When you look at biblical history, the chosen ones, God's chosen people, y'all plug in whatever. I'm not here to argue with nobody tonight. At this point, this is late stage in the game. If you from 1948 state and you still want to hold on to that's you gonna find out. We're gonna all find out. Somebody gonna be right and somebody gonna be wrong, because everybody ain't on the same sheet of music when it comes to that. But that doesn't matter. The point I'm making is he has historically always moved the ones he wanted to rescue out of the way before destruction came. So we could see some interesting occurrences happening in 2026. And that astrological transit is going to take place in February. Okay. So that's one. Now, the other energy of 2026, 2 + 2 + 6, is both 10 and 1. 10 is what? There's a synchronicity already, because I told you Saturn is going to move to 0 degrees Aries in February. Saturn rules over the sign of Capricorn. The 10th house is ruled by Capricorn. So you got 10 energy in 2026. What is Capricorn energy? Capricorn energy comes with achievement. It comes with overcoming. Somebody's going to overcome in 2026. Somebody's going to achieve something they've been working at for a long time. Capricorn ruled by Saturn, which rules over time and karma and patience. When you're dealing with Saturnian placements, these are people that learn to be patient, because nothing moves fast for them. They have to go through some things to arrive at something. So some people that have been going at something for a long time and have never given up, they're going to reach some sort of pinnacle in 2026. But the other thing too is that 2026, 2 + 2 + 6 resolves to 10. You drop to 0, that resolves to 1. Okay. So 2026 is also going to be Aries rules over the first house. 1 is Aries energy. It rules over the first house of appearances. We're going to see some things appear in 2026. It is also the ram. It's the warrior. So we're going to see some sort of war in 2026. This is why I think they initiated a planetary defense initiative. Why they're calling for that. So we may even see the activation of Joel chapter 3, where he said, "All y'all come." He said, "Bring your baddest warriors and meet me down in the valley of Jehoshaphat. I got something for y'all. I got something for y'all. Come see me. Come see me." He said, "I'm gonna plead with you for my people, Judah and Jerusalem." So I think we're gonna see some of that pleading. And this ain't pleading like, "Why y'all messing with my people?" No, plead, drop the P, and then spell it backwards. You got deal. He gonna deal with some people for Judah and Jerusalem. That's coming in 2026. That's Matt's prediction. I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot left. I told y'all, for some reason it feels like energetically I'm cooling off. This feels like that Noah period where he's like, "All right, Noah, time to stop preaching, start loading the animals." And I know a lot of y'all out there watching gonna say that was an anecdote. Say what you want. I don't care. I don't care. It still applies. It applies if you want to look at it as fiction. It applies if you want to look at it as history. It doesn't matter. Okay. The truth of the matter is they've got scientific evidence that there was a great deluge. They got scientific evidence. Okay. So we're not going to talk about some monuments that I've seen that look like they could be petrified Noah's Ark. I shared some of that stuff with you all earlier this year. I'm not going to go back through that. But I've been telling y'all, and y'all seen it with a lot of other people out there in the spiritual community. Some people still ramping some stuff up, but some of your favorite voices, they're like, you know what, man? I've said everything that needs to be said. It's time to see now. So I think that's what's coming in 2026, y'all. Ain't nothing to be scared of. If you've been doing the work, you're good. You know, I told one of my homegirls here last week, we were talking, I said, "Why does this feel like April of your senior year in high school? Y'all remember being in high school, you're in your senior year, and around April, May, you're like, you get that senioritis. You're like, why am I here? Like, there's nothing else for me to do. My work is done. I know I'm passing. I know I'm going to graduate. I'm going off to either college or work or the military or something, but I'm done here. And you just feel like you're just sitting there waiting for the end of the school year so you can graduate and get your diploma and move on. That's what the energy in the earth feels like to a lot of us right now. So we're gonna see some stuff in 2026, but beyond what we could see in February, I don't have much. I don't have much to offer y'all. So we'll see what happens. I'm kind of done with a lot of the stuff, a lot of predictions, all of that. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, I'm down 17 minutes, y'all. I got a few more bullets I got to run through. So, Ahaya, Eye versus Yahweh. I still see this late in the game. We still got those of us who have awakened to our true biblical history, arguing with each other and browbeating each other over names. Why are we doing that, y'all? I hear people. First of all, the people that's in the YHWH camp, there's no consistent pronunciation of the name. There's no consistent pronunciation. So why are we getting wrapped around the axles about the pronunciation of a name or what we should be calling when we should just be focused on what's in your natal chart? Okay. When I look back through the scriptures and he asked, and I looked at that mechanical translation, I brought it up on the screen for y'all some months ago. Okay, mechanical translation of the Torah. When Moses asked, "Who should I say sent me?" he said, "Tell them." The Hebrew broke down to Eye, but we know there was no short E sound. According to people that study linguistics and ancient Hebrew, it would have been Ah sounds, because Ah is a higher vibration than E or E. That's why it's confusing to me to this day that over there, the people over there, dumb people over there, will say Abba for father in modern Hebrew, but Ima for mother. Why? Because E is a lower vibration than Ah. Okay? When you're making an E sound, you drop your palate down. When you're making an Ah sound, you raise your palate up. So what they're doing is they're elevating the father over the mother, making her subservient, when the truth of the matter is, it says in the beginning, he made them male and female. They got different roles. Your mama is here, equal and opposite your daddy. That's how it's supposed to be. Daddy got a role he plays. He's the strength. He's that bull. He's the one that protects and guards that house. That mother holds that house together. She makes it a home. Okay. One is the physical protector. The other is the spiritual protector. One is the physical provider. The other is the spiritual provider. Equal and opposite. Balance. Okay. We got to bring the balance back. These workers of iniquity, inequity, imbalance have knocked a lot of stuff out of balance. But guess what? Y'all are watching it real time. Come back in line. So he said, Moses said, "Who should I say sent me?" He said, Ahaya. Tell him Ahaya sent you. Let me show y'all. I'm trying to speed through this stuff, but let me bring this up real quick. Thank y'all for being here tonight. If y'all haven't done so already, please tap that like button for me. Let's see. Hang on a second. Let's see. I believe that's Exodus 3, chapter 13. Let's see. Exodus 3. What did I say that was? Exodus 3 and 13. Yeah. Okay. It's a great resource here. Okay, right here. Let me share this to the screen for y'all. This is for the people still arguing over stuff that ain't worth arguing. Okay. I hear Yahweh, I hear Yahuwah. Nobody seems to be consistent here. And then when you go here, this mechanical translation of the Exodus 3 and 13 through 14, and 13 is where Moses is asking, "Who should I say sent me?" And in 14, it says here, right there, Ehyeh. Or if you want to pronounce that word right there using the Paleo Hebrew pronunciations, you got an aha ya ha, ahaya, ahaya. It says here Ehyeh, but that would be Ahaya, which means I will exist. I will exist sent me. So why do we continue to get wrapped around the axles about things like that name when it doesn't matter. Somebody sent me something and asked about intent and stuff like that versus listen, I want to tell y'all something here. Let me see. I gotta did I put that in my notes? No, but I'm gonna speak on it right now because I mentioned before in my last live stream about people beating people up because they still say Jesus or whatever. And my response was when we didn't know what the name was or who we really were, we said the name Jesus or we called on that name when we got in trouble and we got a response. Okay. I don't trip on to this day. I don't trip, even though I know now, even though I know. I still don't trip on it. And even with that name, people still they argue about that. Is it Yahuwah? Is it is it Yahawashai? Is it Yeshua? Is it Yehoshua? I've even heard Yashiyah and I've even heard Yasha. And I've heard a bunch of different, none of that matters. Like, what is your intent? What are you invoking? Why are you using the name and what are you invoking? Okay. The energy and the intent, they go together. I keep saying that all the time, y'all. Let me tell you the story of something that happened. I don't think I've shared this online before, but I'm gonna share it tonight. And if I did, I apologize for the redundancy. Back when I was a kid, in this was I want to say this is probably around 1980, maybe. I want to say it was around 1980. Anyway, my mom was in the hospital. She was pregnant, and we were coming back from the house where I lived in New York, and we were going to go get some stuff to go back down to my grandmother's house, which she lived about maybe 2-3 blocks away. And we were going to go there and then we're going to meet up and they were going to go to, they were going to leave us at my grandmother's house or whatever. And playing with the cousins and stuff like that. My dad and my aunt, whatever. I don't remember the exact details of who was going to the hospital to see my mother, but they came to the house to get some stuff. And on our way back, there was this house that was in between our house and where my grandmother lived in the projects. And there was a policeman that lived there, and he had these trained German shepherds that were like, police dogs. And he had a sign on the fence that said, "Beware of dogs." He had a chain link fence around his house. And those dogs are so vicious that every time somebody would walk down that street, when they got to the sidewalk right in front of that house, they would leave the sidewalk and go into the street, into the grass median, walk past that house, and then come back over onto the sidewalk. That's how mean and vicious those two dogs were. Well, on this particular day, we're going back away from our house, back toward my grandmother's house, the projects, and we do the same routine everybody does. We leave the sidewalk, cross the street, go into this grass median, and to walk past the house to get back to the sidewalk. And that particular day, the dogs did what they did. They ran from around the back of the house, and they would hear somebody, and they ran and jumped at the fence. But on this particular day, y'all know those chain link fences back in the day had that little catch thing that slides up and down, and it would hook the gate onto the fence, and that's how you would either open the gate or close it. But this little latch thing would be down, and that would keep the gate from opening. Well, on this particular day, the latch was up, and so when the dogs hit the fence, when they hit that gate, the gate swung open, and they ran out at us. And it was me, my dad, and my grandmother, and I think my younger brother. So we little kids, and a man and his mom, grown man and his mom. And them dogs came over there, and they jumped. They jumped. Like they would jump. Because, we used to watch him training his dogs in the yard. He'd have that suit on, that padded suit and the arm thing or whatever, and he would train them. So they jumped the way they were trained. And let me tell you something. Y'all probably not going to believe this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. My dad stopped and he stood up like a stalwart. He stood like Thor. Like he didn't buckle or nothing. My dad, he stood up like Thor, and he pointed at them dogs and he said, "Jesus," just like that. Y'all, them dogs stopped midair. It's almost like they were doing a somersault. It looked like they hit an invisible force field. Them dogs, they went paws up to jump. Them dogs turned like that. Bam. Ran back around, sat inside the fence and watched us. And they were like, I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. And I never forgot that. I said, wow, I'm going to use that. I was a little boy. We should have been shred to pieces. So I share that story to tell y'all why I don't trip on nobody who still says the name Jesus. Like, I don't care. Do what works for you. We all came here to do something different. Okay? We all came here to do something different. And I'm gonna keep moving through my points here because I'm got down to 8 minutes left here. And I got some bonus. I got a bonus number of minutes in my mind if I didn't get through this. But I promise y'all this ain't gonna be no 2-hour video. So little comedy. I'm gonna get off that little heaviness. I wanted to share that story with you all and to explain to you why I don't trip on these names. So when some of y'all come, y'all send me stuff. Look, I don't care at this point. I don't. It's too late in the game. I've done my work. A lot of you have done your work. It's about to be pencils down time. Y'all know back in grade school when we were still writing stuff before they had all these computers, you know, you get a test, that time to test, that teacher say, okay, pens down, turn in your paper. It's about to be pens down, turning your paper on this earth. And I've done my work. I've done mine. A lot of y'all have done y'all. So this is, at this point, I'm not trying to win nobody. I'm not. I don't do that anyway. You know, sometimes I'll contest with people or debate. I ain't doing that no more. Say what you want to say. I don't care. Just don't bring it to me. I don't do you. Don't bring it to me. Here's the thing. Comedy. Let me come down off of that. Let me step down. White Jesus versus black Jesus. White Jesus versus black Jesus. Let me give y'all a funny childhood story. A lot of us so-called black folk, okay? Hebrews, Israelites, however you want to label us as a people, okay? A lot of us had them pictures of that blonde hair, blue-eyed, soft-looking man with the white robe on, the perfectly lit oil painting, whatever it was, hanging up in our homes back in the day. And I used to look at that picture, and that picture never resonated with me as a little boy. And I ain't know nothing about it. Okay, that's Jesus. They told us that's Jesus. Like, but I never made the connection. I'm like, okay, where he at? Like, you know, we on food stamps and we don't know if we're gonna have heat one day to the next. You know, we get a welfare check twice a month, but you know, where you at, bro? That was my thinking back in the day. And then I saw that episode of Good Times where JJ painted Black Jesus. And I was done after that, y'all. I was like, y'all don't never show me that other picture no more with the blonde hair and blue eyes. JJ done show me what he looked like. Yeah, he looked like Ned the Wino. I don't care. That dude right there looked like me. That one right there resonating with me. So anyway, I told y'all these random topics tonight. I just wanted to share that with y'all. That was my history. I never resonated with that other picture. And we didn't have the Black Jesus hanging up in our house. And eventually that picture came down off the walls and never went back up again after that. But I just thought that was always funny. So I wanted to come on here and share that story with y'all. But, you know, I want to talk about next sliding from one form of religion or control to another. We got to be careful. We got to be careful, y'all, because what I'm seeing a lot of is I'm seeing a lot of us who came out of Christianity semi, I'm soft shoeing it, semi falling into a different form of religious bondage, falling into a different form of religious bondage. And what does religious bondage look like? I don't care what the flavor is. Anytime anybody outside of you tells you what you need to be doing because God said that you need to be doing this, that's religious bondage. It is. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. I see a lot of people now who have awakened to their identity, their true biblical identity, but they're forgetting that very powerful passage of scripture from Jeremiah, the 31st chapter. So I'm going to bring that up right now. Let me bring that up. Jeremiah chapter 31. Because this needs to be held in mind, y'all. I mean, we're coming to the end. Again, it's about to be where it don't matter anymore, to be honest with you. But let me just say this. Let me say this. All right. Let's go to Jeremiah 31 and 31 and read, y'all, because we tend to forget this. And a lot of these camp brothers, including that brother that took that passage of scripture, and shout out to the subscriber that sent me the email. I didn't have the opportunity to look at anything yet, but I'm here to tell you I probably don't need to look at it because it feels like energetically it's probably going to be more of the same. But let me say this. Big Judah, I love Big Judah. I'm team Big Judah. You're never going to hear me. Somebody emailed me. They mentioned some stuff about Big Judah. You're never going to hear me say nothing bad about Big Judah. That's my dude. If ever I go to California, I'm going to look him up. Be like, yo, man, let's go. Where can we go get some good fish tacos or something? That's my dude. He came here to do exactly what he's doing. I haven't seen his birth chart, but I can tell by his work ethic. And I heard him one time say he's a Capricorn. So I got mad respect for all Capricorns because I know how y'all move because I'm one. I know how Capricorn work. They grind. So I got mad respect for him. Let me say this. He is doing exactly, without having looked at his birth chart, I can tell you he's doing exactly what he came here to do. He came here to be a thorn in the side of the dark side. The dark side represented by the dark side religious establishment. He came here to be a thorn in their side, and he's doing a damn good job of it. So I love Big Judah. Keep doing what you're doing, Big Judah. Matt was not created to do what he's doing. So when he shares his books and things that he's learning from, other books that are outside the 66 books, I'm taking mental notes because I'm learning from Big Judah. I'm learning from him. He's bringing some great stuff to the forefront. He's bringing some great history to the forefront. I'm a historian. So I'm not talking about him when I was talking about that scripture that I broke down the other night where that person cherry picked it. This was another person who I will not name. But he came out his fifth point of contact. I'm going to say it nice. He came out his fifth point of contact, bringing a passage of scripture from the 5th chapter of Amos, talking about Thanksgiving was in the Bible. And when I looked at it, it had nothing to do with Thanksgiving. And I'm going to say again what I said in the last live stream. Do not take a passage of scripture to out of context to lie and bring the doctrine of control. If you're telling somebody that they should not be celebrating Thanksgiving because it's in the Bible, and then you bring a scripture up that says, I despise your solemn feast, he wasn't talking about Thanksgiving. There was no Thanksgiving there. There was no Christians when that was written. There were no Gentiles pushing Thanksgiving on Israelites back then. He was talking to the wickedness and the hypocrisy of the Israelites who were doing all manner of wicked things, but still keeping the feast days. That's why he said, I despise your solemn feast. Don't bring me that. He said, y'all suck. Y'all stink. Y'all a bunch of lies. Y'all a bunch of hypocrites. I'm going to deal with y'all. I'm going to send y'all into captivity because y'all trying to play in my face by doing everything I asked you not to do for your own good, mind you. But you want to play in my face and come with a solemn feast. That's who he was talking to. So I stand by what I said. Don't bring nothing up in here talking about the Most High said we shouldn't be doing Thanksgiving. And it's right here in Amos chapter 5. Because when I read it, if it's wrong, I'm going to bust your ASS. Because you're not going to play. Anyway, let me keep it moving. Anybody can get it, y'all. Anybody can get it. Anybody, if you lying, I don't like liars, y'all. I got to think. Look, there's two types of people in this world I don't like. I don't like people who lie, and I don't like people who steal. Because if you'll lie to me, you'll steal from me. And if you'll steal from me, you'll lie about what it was about your part in it. I don't like thieves and I don't like liars. You lying, trying to push a doctrine of control. Let's deal with this doctrine of control right here. Jeremiah 31:31. Behold, the days come. Y'all, my buzzer about to go off. It's all good. Behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers. Pay attention. Not according. Let me stop this, I think, because it's about to go off. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they broke anyway. Even though I was a husband unto them. What's a husband? A protector, a partner, and a provider. Although I was a husband to them, they still broke my covenant, saith the Most High. So he said, we're not going to do that no more. That covenant didn't work. Y'all couldn't keep it. I was a protector, partner, and provider to you, and you still couldn't keep it. But this shall be the covenant that verse 33, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Most High, I will put my law in your inward parts and write it in your hearts. And you will be my people and I'll be your God. Okay? I know I paraphrased that or read it backwards, whatever. And will be their God and they shall be my people. Okay? Verse 34 is the kicker. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord. For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Most High. For I will forgive their iniquity, their inequity, their imbalance, their acts of imbalance, and I will remember their sin or error no more. Okay? So why do we have all these people out here with their heads tied, their hair tied up, raggedy freaking beards that to me do not reflect royalty? Your beard raggedy. Your beard raggedy. It's nappy. You look like the people that you say you despise. That ain't royalty to me. To me, a royal got a dope, well-manicured beard. You gonna tell me that the Most High and the angels are gonna show up and they're gonna look raggedy and scruffy? I'm not going with that. And don't show me no scripture, because again, I'm going to bring you right back here to Jeremiah 31 and 31 through 34. The Messiah came and doubled down on it when he said the kingdom of God is within you. So you're supposed to be going within to find out what you're doing. But I would bet you a honest day's pay that you'd be hard pressed to find 1 in 20 of these so-called people that's pushing the law that knows what their North Node is, that knows what their Pluto placement is, that knows what their Saturn placement is, that knows what their Uranus placement is, that knows what their Chiron is. What wounds did you come here to heal? That's your Chiron. What is your soul's destiny for this lifetime? That's your North Node. What is your Pluto? What generational patterns did you come here to break? Saturn, what did you come here to where are you being restricted in your life so that you can overcome something, prove efficiency in something so that you can then unlock whatever your Saturn is sitting in? Bet you can't find neither one of them. Ask them what they came here to do. They're going to tell you to serve the Most High and keep the commandments. To what end? So did you come here with no purpose? You only came here to, quote unquote, serve the Most High and keep the commandments? What do you... So everybody came here to do the same exact thing. Nobody came here to do nothing different. If you ask them, they can't tell you what they came here to do. They cannot mathematically and astrologically tell you what they came here to do. You know why? Because they're going to tell you, well, the Most High said we ain't supposed to look into astrology. That's the devil. Shout out to that subscriber that sent me that video today where that sister, a sister who is a energy reader who uses tarot as a tool to read energy, double down on that passage of scripture I shared from the 30th chapter of 1 Samuel, where David put on that ephod and divined using the Urim and the Thummim to get an answer from God on what he should do, how he should move when one of his outlying cities got sacked and his wives got kidnapped. And he asked God if he should pursue them, if he was going to win. David used similar divination that you would see a tarot reader use. Okay. Now let me move on to something else while I got this on the screen. Because this is who the Messiah was talking to. Because a lot of us have reincarnated and woken up, and a lot of us are doing the stuff we were doing in the old world. Meaning a lot of these people browbeating you, telling you what you should be doing and what your quote unquote walk with the Most High should look like are the same religious nuts that put the Messiah on the cross. I'm gonna show it to you right here. I get tired of having to do the same thing over and over again, y'all. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna do it no more after today. I'm just gonna start ignoring people because I've learned how to do that well. Matthew 15 and 23. No, Matthew 23 and 15. My bad. Matthew 23 and 15. I get tired of having to do this again. But I got something provided for in the notes here in the script or whatever. Matthew 23 and 15. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees. Woe unto you, camp corner boys. Woe unto you, Christian pastors. Woe unto anybody that's out there trying to turn somebody and bring them into their fold. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites, for you compass the sea and land to make one proselyte. And when he is made, you make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. What is hell? Torment, the grave, death. Y'all messing people's minds up. You going all around the world trying, hey, brother, come on in. Brother, you know this is what you're supposed to be doing. Brother, put that pork sandwich down, brother. Most High said you ain't supposed to be eating that. Why do you care what somebody else eating? Don't you got your own work you came here to do? If you're too busy looking at this man's work, you can't do yours. Stay in your lane like the planets do. You don't never see a planet cross out of its orbit into another planet's orbit to tell it what it's supposed to do. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites. You compass sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he's made, you make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. Y'all start telling me what's in your North Node. And then if you're doing it, start telling me what generational patterns you came here to break in accordance with your natal chart. Tell me what house your Saturn is in and what sign it's in, what degree it's in. Tell me what your Chiron sign and house is. What wound are you harboring that you came here to fix, but you can't fix it because you're too busy looking at somebody else? I'm tired of it, y'all. I don't want to hear that no more, man. I don't want to hear it no more. Y'all, some of y'all, man. But you know what? Some people actually need Some people need religion. So y'all be careful. Y'all, let me wrap that up by saying y'all be careful sliding from one form of religious control to another. And be sure that you read Matthew 23 and 15. Anytime somebody comes to you telling you what you should be doing, you direct them right back here. Direct them right back here. Check yourself first. Check yourself first. And then you direct them right back here. Jeremiah 31 and 31 through 34. But check yourself against it. Because God said, "No, I'm making a new covenant." But you got these clowns out here trying to hold you to an old covenant that he said, "I'm not going to make the same covenant with you that I made with your fathers," because they couldn't keep it. So you got these hypocrites out here. They good because they ain't eating pork. They good because they ain't eating shellfish. I don't need to eat. I just told you it's low vibrational. Bottom feeders by nature are low vibrational. I get that. But you know what? If you like crab legs, I'm not going to judge you. Go get your crab legs. I'm just not going to eat any. You can eat them in front of me. I'm not going to eat them. Even before I started understanding some things, I didn't like crab legs then. I ain't never been a crab legs person. I used to eat shrimp because I was taught shrimp is good. You eat what you see your parents and stuff eat when you little. But after a while, I was like, I kind of don't like the way this is. I don't like shrimp anymore. Half the people don't devein it. Half of them don't take the vein out. You eating crunching. You crunching on that. You eating crunchy shrimp. When you bite into it and it's crunchy in the middle, you eating boo-boo. You eating shrimp chitterlings. Anyway, direct them back here. When they start telling you what you're supposed to do, direct them back here. I don't care who it is. If somebody telling you how you're supposed to live your life, you go within. What's in you is going to tell you how to live your life. Everybody came here to do something different. If it offends you, don't go around them. That's real simple. If it offends you, don't look at them. If I offend you, don't look at me. Don't watch my channel. I don't agree with everything that everybody says that I watch, but I don't come on. Let me sip some tea, man. I see why the late Joe Madison used to get frustrated on his show, The Black Eagle. See, Sherry, this is why. See, I got him, Sherry. Y'all remember Joe Madison? Some of y'all used to watch him on XM Radio. Why you people keep calling into my show telling me I'm Joe Madison? I know what I'm talking about. How many of you have been there and done the things I've done? I miss Joe Madison, man. That was a great loss when he transitioned back to the spirit realm, man. That was a great loss. That guy was funny, man. I used to entertain myself watching and listening to Joe Madison. But y'all could probably find some old clips of Joe Madison, the Black Eagle, on YouTube. He was a funny brother. Funny brother. All right, so let me move on, y'all. You'll know the tree by its fruit. Start looking at what people doing. Start looking at people's fruits. Don't listen to their words. Look at their fruit. Look at the work they putting down. Are they telling you not to do one thing, but then doing something else that they quote unquote shouldn't be doing? You'll know the tree by its fruit. Don't judge them by the cover. Don't judge them by the packaging. Don't judge them by what's coming out of their mouth. Judge them by their works. That's what knowing the tree by its fruit means. Look at their works. Look at what they're doing. Okay? Now, again, some people need Saturnian religion. Why? Okay? Why? Why is that? Because some people are not at the vibrational frequency to fully operate in spirit in the spirit realm. To fully operate in spirit requires a certain vibrational frequency, aka Christ consciousness. Let me bring that tab back up for y'all. Let me bring that tab back up. That's not the one I want. Where's my photo? Yeah. Where's my photo? I do my photo, man. This is what happens sometimes. It's all good. Let's do this. Right here. Some people, I've come to the realization that some people actually need organized religion. Some people need organized Saturnian religion. Okay? To operate up here, that's that Christ consciousness zone right there. Enlightenment, peace, compassion, joy, enlightenment. That's that Christ consciousness. Some people aren't at this frequency. So some people got to move through the channels. Some people got to progress through the stages. You don't. For those of y'all that used to watch some kung fu movies back in the day, you know that you did not go into the Shaolin Temple as a student and then jump all of a sudden you're a master. No, they had to go through some rigorous training. Them old kung fu movies, and at the end they had to go through that Hall of Whispers, 32 chambers of death or something like that, where they had to go through that. If you survived it, now you're a master. If not, well, you probably weren't a good student. Some people are not ready for spirituality. So some people need that Saturnian religion, that some people actually came here for somebody to tell them what to do. But if you're one of them people that came here to have somebody tell you what to do, I'm not one of them. So don't tell me what your shepherd, what your herder of sheep told you to do for you. Don't bring that to me, because I'm on a different level. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm on a different frequency level. We're not on the same frequency. All right. So I'm gonna leave it at that. One has got to progress through the steps of learning. And if you're not at that level of consciousness yet, you probably still need instruction. So some people need that. All right. Some people need that Saturnian. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get in trouble if you don't do this. Some people need it. They do. They ain't at that frequency yet. Now, one more thing I'm going to talk about, y'all. That original Star Wars trilogy. Was that a historical overlay? That original Star Wars trilogy. Shout out to one of my subscribers that sent me a funny clip with Star Wars in it today. I told her, I said, you tapped in. You tapped in spiritually. You don't even realize your higher self had you send me this funny clip to as spiritual confirmation that this is what I'm supposed to do. Adding this little piece into my breakdown tonight. Okay, original Star Wars trilogy as a historical overlay. Let's talk about it. Those of you that are familiar with the original Star Wars trilogy, today they would call them episodes 4, 5, and 6. But originally, back in the 70s, it was Star Wars, then The Empire Strikes Back, and then The Return of the Jedi. Just random topics, y'all. Star Wars, the first Star Wars movie, okay, episode 4 in modern speak, but the first one that dropped in, I believe it was 1977, maybe somewhere around there. Star Wars was, in my opinion, everything historically, war-wise, conflict-wise, that led up to the period between 711 AD and 1492. Okay? Star Wars. Y'all remember what happened in the first Star Wars movie? The Empire was bad. They were dope. They had the Death Star. Couldn't nobody defeat them. The Death Star was an artificial planet that could destroy whole planets. It was a weapon. Okay? That was the dark side's biggest weapon. And then in comes this guy, Luke Skywalker, who's the chosen one. He's gifted. He hadn't even had the training yet to be a Jedi Master. But he flew that mission and destroyed the Death Star. Okay? So that broke the back of the Empire. The Roman Empire. Okay? Remember, in my opinion, Star Wars was everything that led up to that period between 711 AD and 1492. You had some back and forth fighting. Rome dominated for a long time, hundreds of years. Rome dominated, and you could take it out even to 1,000 years if you want to talk about the Eastern Roman Empire that occupied what is today modern day Turkey, Istanbul. Okay, Constantinople was what it was, but that Eastern Roman Empire, they lasted 1,000 years longer than the Western Empire. Okay, Eastern Roman Empire fell around the same time that the Iberian Peninsula fell to the Goths and Visigoths. Okay, when they drove the so-called Moors, which were a collection of Israelites and Ishmaelites, drove them out of the Iberian Peninsula. Okay, but leading up to that point, now think about, to me, the Death Star moment where the Death Star got blown up at the end of the first Star Wars movie, that was 711 AD, when General Tariq crossed the Strait of Gibraltar and conquered the Iberian Peninsula with a smaller body of fighters than those that they went against. The Jedi was always small in numbers, but pay attention to the play on words. Jedi, Judah. Jedi, Judah. The Empire, the Roman Empire. I've seen this for a long time now. So I think that was the first Star Wars movie. Okay? Now, The Empire Strikes Back. Y'all know what happened in The Empire Strikes Back. The Empire broke the back of the Jedi and drove them off into exile. They drove them off into hiding. They had to just go hide somewhere out in the galaxy to hide away from the Empire to get their strength back up. That, I believe, occurred that was the period between 1492, when the Iberian Peninsula fell back to and the start of the Renaissance and Reformation, when they whitewashed all of the history in Europe. Okay, that started after 1492. So that was the Empire Strikes Back. What else happened in 1492? Columbus comes across the ocean looking for the rest of the Israelites over here in the so-called New World, which was really the Old World, okay, aka Turtle Island. That was Columbus coming across here to finish up what started over there in the Iberian Peninsula. We got to find the rest of them and wipe them out. That's really what he came over here for. He wasn't looking for no spice route. Okay. We got the old documents. Now that we've sacked them, we got all their records. We know where the other one's at. Let's go over there and get them. Why didn't they come over sooner? See what I'm saying? When the Iberian Peninsula fell, that was the Empire Strikes Back. And so that period that lasted from 1492 all the way to 2017 was the period of the Empire Strikes Back. What's significant about 2017, Matt? Great question. That super duper mass awakening that seemed to be triggered by that total solar eclipse that went from the west coast of the United States, traveled across the United States southeast, and leaves over Charleston, South Carolina, which was one of the biggest slave ports in America. Now, we know that the BS history about the transatlantic slave trade, and we know that the majority of the so-called black folks were originally Indians, labeled as Indians, or were already over here. That transatlantic slave trade probably made up about 10% of the Negro population. The other 90% were already here. We know that, okay? We know the history books lie. They need to throw out that diagram of these quote-unquote slaves laying on top of each other like sardines. That don't even make sense. Chained up. Nobody would survive that trip. Nobody would. They died from disease. Okay, so just that's the stupidest thing ever. I can't believe that we believed it for so long. A lot of us did. Maybe I don't speak for some of y'all, but I speak for myself. Since now that I understand what sensationalism is, I'm like, yeah, that's a little bit. That doesn't even make sense. That whole story is just wrong on so many levels, but I'm not gonna get into that tonight. That 2017 eclipse triggered the end of the Empire Strikes Back. And so 2017 to the present represents the return of the Jedi. And that's why they're building up this planetary defense initiative to deal with this thing that they keep telling us is a comet. When you ever seen a comet steer itself, change courses, change colors, do all of this other stuff, break up and then come back together? Miss me with that. So I think the original Star Wars trilogy was a historical overlay. There's some other stuff with Star Wars. For example, the real power of the Empire was the Dark One, Darth Vader. The Dark One, Darth Vader. For those of y'all that think I said Dark Vader, no, I didn't. I said Darth, okay? That ought to tell you who really is responsible for Esau. Everybody keep thinking Esau is this right here. No, Esau ain't the white man, okay? Stop that already if you're still doing it. The stormtroopers worked for Darth Vader. They were Darth Vader's foot soldiers. Understand that, understand that, overstand that. The real dark side on this planet looks just like, it's got just as much melanin as you watching this video and me. And that's going to be revealed too. The scripture said the son of perdition is going to be revealed. That's going to be revealed. The whole world going to be shocked when they see who the real hand was behind the curtain in Oz, working all the mechanisms, all the machinations. All right. That's all I got, y'all. That's all I got. Let me see what other questions y'all got up in here. Let's see what y'all doing. Let's see what y'all doing. Okay. Y'all, that's it. That's it. Let's see what we got here. She said evacuate. Fair use, evacuate from where? That's funny. Great question. That's what the hell I want to know. They were so vague about it, and where are we supposed to be going? Exactly. She said those people have some nerve, so they just issue a warning, but to nothing that may be something. Sounds like the zombie warnings from I think the CDC before. Yeah, exactly. She said I posted my YouTube channel as well. I thought it was Sunday all day today. Yeah, it's getting weird out here, y'all. It's getting weird with this time. I literally feel like I just got up and got out of bed a little while ago, and it's pitch black again. You know, like they all want all the people coming up with assumptions and speaking false and spreading fear. I want to know what they mean, even though I don't. Listen, Whatever y'all heard what I told you. The children of the Most High always get moved out of the way before destruction comes. And that's going to rub a lot of people watching this video the wrong way, because they're going to be like, am I included in that? I don't know. But you know deep down inside if you are. So that ain't for me to answer. Go within. Just like I tell everybody that watches this channel, people I deal with in person, go within. Place your dominant hand over your heart, close your eyes, and ask yourself. You'll get the answer. I promise you. That has been so hot for me right now, if you're vibrating at the right frequency. But the answers to everything you need are inside of you. Your access ticket to the Akashic Records library is inside of you. When you're doing Akashic Records guided meditation with some headphones on off YouTube, where do you think you're getting the information that is coming to light for you? It's coming from inside of you. The Messiah literally was teaching an energetic principle when he said the kingdom of God is within you. That is an energetic principle. That wasn't some hyperbole. That wasn't some allegory or something like that. No, he was literally teaching an energetic principle. The kingdom of God is within you. She said, even though I don't believe NASA with their silly, NASA's clowns. How many of y'all have seen those videos where people, they're supposed to be from the International Space Station, but people zoom in on the video and show you the little cord that's connected to the back of people while they got you thinking they're floating, and they got a series of cables and cords. Oh, we're flipping around. And one time somebody had dropped something and they had to cut the video. They're clowns, man. They're clowns. They are really clowns. That's a great point, Lady Dagger Status. She said it was a curious message. Yeah. From the human body exhibits and the Sansa's shrunken heads, it's payday. It definitely feels like, as in the days of Noah, Ark is done. All that's left is to do the mashal. Yup. Balance. That's right, Hotshot. Balance. All these lives are connecting so well with my life. Thank you, Lady Dagger Status. It lets me know that I'm doing the work I was called to do. Thank you. Hotshot said, I don't trip on the name either. I just follow my higher consciousness. My father simply told me his original name, and that the Holy Spirit is my mother. There you go. But you know what I like about that, Hotshot? You went within to get that answer. That's what I like about that, Hotshot. That's the example. See, that's the example for people to follow. You want to know the answer? Go within. That's what Hotshot did. That's what Matt tells you that he does. That's what a lot of y'all watching me do. Go within. I love that. Thank you for adding that, Hotshot. I love that. Now, did you go out there, Hotshot? You put it in the comments. Did you go out there and start busting people upside the head saying, well, because my father told me this is his original name, this is what y'all need to be using? Did you do that? You didn't have to. You didn't have to. She said, I found Big Jude about 7 years ago when I lived in California. He's famous for keeping 83 feet to the fire. Yeah, he's doing what he came here to do. He's doing exactly what he came here to do. Big ups to him. He's doing exactly what he came here to do. You're right. It's go time. It doesn't matter now. Nothing anyone is saying doesn't matter. We all here on a mission. We are ready. Yup. I'm telling you, this thing going to flip so quick. I've been saying to y'all for the last year and a half, 2 years, there is a work stoppage coming. There is a work stoppage coming, a worldwide work stoppage. Pens down. Like I said, the school year, when you get that timed test, that's it. Pencils down. Turn to your paper. Yeah, I got one. Nope. Pencils down. Turn to your paper right now. That's what's coming. It's going to be a worldwide work stoppage. Everybody's going to quit working at the same time. And then it's going to be true up time. All right, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. I saw it in a dream 30-something years ago when I was in Kuwait. I saw it in a dream. That dream makes so much more sense to me now. I'm a young soldier over there in the desert, over there in the sandbox in the Persian Gulf. I had that dream. I never forgot it. I know it's coming. I just didn't know it was going to be like 30-something years in the future. But I see it now. It's coming. It's coming. I know you're right, Fair Use. Big Judah's tearing them up. After the brother tried to rock Big Judah in the comment section, and he went to Isaiah 14, it led me to the Mashal. It's that time. I definitely appreciated the ephod piece of the puzzle so much. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Listen, I appreciated it too. That was a divine download, but that came to me. I'm telling you, this is how these things work. I was not looking for that. I was looking for the marriage piece. Like, oh, David had, okay, this wasn't even Bathsheba. He had 2 other wives in Ziklag, whatever the name of that city was. So that's who he was going after. They got, because in my mind, I'm thinking, they came and captured Bathsheba. No, it was 2 other ones. So I'm looking for that context. And then the Most High put it was like a light shining right there. Boom. David told his seer, he told his priest, his high priest, give me your ephod. I can talk to the Most High myself. Give me your ephod. Give me your light seers deck. Give me your Rider-Waite Smith deck. Let me flip these cards and see what answer comes out. It's just a modern day version of it. I might do some live stuff with the cards on this channel one day. I don't know where the Most High gonna send me. I thought about doing some yes no questions for y'all, but I'll save that to another day. So I block the lunatics and idiots without hesitation. There you go. You have to these days. You have to. Moses was supposed to speak to the rock, not smoke the rock. Right. He did something different. Exactly. Exactly. I don't need organized religion at all. I think a lot of these social media content creators are quite entertaining. That's why I would share some content with some people. Yup. Hotshot said, to keep it 100, I'm not interested in my birth chart either. Hey, if that is your place, I got you. I respect that. Nothing but respect. I know a person who is so into her birth chart, she is homeless because she refused to work because of her birth chart. If she's homeless because of her birth chart, then I'm here to tell you again, you can't always go off of what somebody else is doing. That's her experience. She probably got a poor interpretation. I ain't never seen nobody's birth chart say go be homeless. I'm just saying. Okay, so again, you got to be careful not to direct your life based on what somebody else's results are. That's all I'm gonna say. You got to be careful. I ain't telling you what to do or what not to do. I'm just saying be careful basing your life on somebody else's results. Now, I say that my old man did teach me growing up. He said, son, if 5 people go down a path that says bridge out and none of them come back, are you gonna go down that path too? I get that part. But again, your natal chart is your personal instruction set. But if you don't want to look at it, that is up to you. My prayer is that, you're walking in your purpose anyway. I'm just saying, for all of the people out here telling somebody else how they should be living their life, they don't even, most of them, if not all of them, can tell you what they came here to do. They don't even know. If you don't know what you came here to do, how are you going to tell me what I came here to do? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Said, scared me, fair use. I want no parts of my chart. Okay, I get it. Listen, to each his own. I told you, everybody's at a different frequency. Everybody's at a different frequency. You can't, if you ain't on that frequency, you can't do it. And that's not disrespect or anything at all. That's just telling me the truth is that you're not on the frequency to look at your natal chart. And that's completely fine. You're on a different frequency. I will never judge you for the frequency you're on. Well, that sounds like they are too consumed in it. That's not balanced at all. Thank you, Lady Dagger Status. That makes a lot of sense. Either that's crazy faith or fear or not fulfilling their life purpose or a very inaccurate natal chart reading. I'm a lean toward inaccurate. Somebody didn't know what they were looking at. I ain't never seen nobody. Now, there are people that do the long range stuff. They can look at somebody, they can look at futures, and they can look at, now I'm more into the tropical. The Vedic can tell you some people. I've seen people get pinpoint accuracy with, okay, you're going to have a child on this particular date. It's going to be this gender, blah, blah, blah. And it hit. I get it. I've never wanted to know that. I like some stuff to be left up to. I like to be surprised with some stuff, though I don't, quote unquote, like surprises. But my thing is, I wouldn't want to look in the futures and see something that I don't want to see. So if it's something that I don't want to see, I'd rather see it when it was time for me to see it versus me seeing it afar off. Okay? Because the truth of the matter is, the universe is infinite possibilities. And some people are marked by the Most High, where regardless of what you think you're going to do or what you think you want to do, He's going to block that if it's something that's not within your life plan, if you're chosen for a specific path. There are a number of things I have blocked from my life path, from things that I desired to do when I was younger. Things that I desired to do, it got blocked. Why? Because it would have knocked me off my divine path. Now that I know my natal chart, I understand why I got blocked from those things. But to each his own. Everybody ain't on that frequency. She said, wow, so glad I caught this live. Powerful message. Thanks, Matt. My pleasure. My pleasure. She said, Matt is funny about homelessness. That's funny. That's funny. And some people came in. Homelessness is part of some people's karma from another lifetime. Okay? Part of some people's karma. But I heard another spiritual person break it down. They said some people are bored with having good lives, so they want to the soul wants to experience what it feels like to be homeless. So you see people living the homeless experience because they are a soul that said, hey, I want to try that on and see what it feels like. Y'all have to understand that we are eternal souls. We are. Some people are getting karma. Some people just literally want to have an experience to see what that's like. They kind of intertwine some of these themes in that HBO series Westworld, which they canceled. Maybe it was getting too close to the truth. Westworld got canceled. Y'all check that out when you get a chance. All right. Beauty of course said, if looking at your chart like it rules your life, it's an addiction. It's just another indoctrination that controls you. Nah, I'm not sure I would call it an indoctrination. It is you. And see, again, that right there tells me that there's so much lack of understanding when it comes to natal charts and when it comes to astrology. All you're doing is reading energy. Like people call tarot evil. Tarot is just a tool for reading energy. It's the same with astrology and natal charts. It is a tool for reading energy. Who is the energy that is you? A lot of people walk around, they don't even know themselves. A lot of people walk around, they don't know themselves. When you know yourself, that's empowering. But again, to say that it's indoctrination. Indoctrination comes from without. It doesn't come from within. A natal chart reading, even though you're looking at it outside of you, it's a reading of what you are. It ain't even like it's a thing that's inside of you. It is who you are. And a lot of people don't want to deal with that, but it's true. I've had people say, "Oh, don't tell me anything about birth charts or astrology. I don't believe in any of that stuff." I'm like, okay, but Mother Blanca, your birthday is in such and such date, and you exhibit the exact same behaviors as people in that same sun sign. So I don't care if you believe in it or not. You are the energy of that sun sign because you exhibit the same behaviors of people with that sun sign. Somebody with the next sun sign or the next sun sign after that, they don't exhibit the same behaviors, but they're going to exhibit the same behavior. What did I just tell y'all? I said I can respect. Big Judah said he's a Capricorn. You can see it in his work. Capricorns go hard in the paint. They don't stop. Capricorns deal with some dark, heavy stuff earlier on in their life. Scorpios deal with some dark, heavy stuff early on in their life. They got heavy lifting to do. Aquarius is one of the most selfless signs of the zodiac. You were born under the sign of Aquarius. You're typically trying to help everybody. You put yourself last. There are characteristics that are the same. People who have Pisces placements, they're some of the most giving people you ever wanted to meet. They also will cry at the drop of a hat. They also will lie if they think they're going to get in trouble or thinking them telling you the truth is going to hurt your feelings or get them in trouble. They'll tell you a lie. Pisces, that's that Neptune. Low vibrational energy, you're going to do low vibrational things. Aries are impulsive. An Aries will fight you quicker than a Libra. Period. A Libra is going to be more likely to talk you out of something than go upside your head. I don't care. Listen, people say they don't believe in stuff, but I promise you, whatever sun sign you were born under, you're going to exhibit the same behaviors as somebody else with that sun sign. Moon sign. You the same moon sign as somebody you don't know. Y'all going to exhibit some of the same behaviors. I've told people that never had a natal chart reading. Oh, okay. Oh, let's see. Look at your chart. Oh, you're Cancer Moon. Oh, Cancer Moon. Let me tell you some characteristics of Cancer Moons. They're like, oh, how did you know that about me? Because it's math. It is literally math. But I'm done with that too. I ain't trying to convince nobody no more. I just sat up here and told y'all I ain't trying to convince somebody. Let me get off that. Y'all be who you gonna be. We all about to find out real soon. Let me look at these last couple of comments. We're gonna shut this down, y'all. She said, it's not about frequency to me. To each his own or her. I truly think that the time of birth could be wrong, not accurate at all. Yeah. I agree with the soul, Matt. People just don't get that there is a whole other agenda. That is true. Space Elf said, I feel that those lives marked by God are likely master life path numbers 11, 22, 33. They came for very specific purposes, especially at 33. And 33s are hard to find. I've yet to meet a life path 33. Bernadette said, hi, Matt, and chat popping in late. Thank you, Bernadette. So listen, y'all, I'm going to shut this down. I was hoping that y'all would have some questions for me, but I'm going to do this again. Matter of fact, what I might do is, and I could sit up here and say that I'm going to announce it in the community post, but this platform throttles me so bad, y'all. And I ain't the only one. All of them. Big Judah gets hit with it. Anybody that's out here dropping truth bombs and spreading light and trying to uplift people, the platform don't want them. The platform would prefer you to act a fool on here. They prefer you act a fool, but they're not going to get that from me. So it is what it is. I could tell y'all, I'm going to do this the next time, and we can do this at the third. Y'all may not even see it if I put it in the community post, because I look at the number of likes I get in the community post, and that tells me how many people are seeing it. which is not a whole lot at all. But I'm definitely going to do this. I like this open dialogue thing. I would want y'all, if y'all got something y'all want me to touch on, I'll let y'all know the next time I'm going to go live like this, and we can deal with some of these topics. So I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much, Beauty of Core Physics. I love you too. Yeah, they do want to keep us stupid. That is true. And she said, I have a friend who's a Life Path 33 and she don't even know it. Wow. Wow. All right. So thank y'all for being here tonight. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. And I will be back on here on Wednesday because we're going to do our full moon in Gemini gratitude breakdown. So we'll talk about the things that you can expect to appear in your life based on the house that you have. For those of y'all that look at natal charts, based on the house, and that's no dig. I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. There's a lot of us who are. I'm tired. So all praises to the Most High that work stoppage is coming. I hope it's next year. If I had my choice, I'd tell 3i Atlas, yo, y'all come pick me up and put me in a land that was promised to my that God, that the Most High set aside for my fathers in accordance with Jeremiah the 16th chapter, and then y'all go ahead and light the rest of them up. I'm out. I'm deuces. I don't care about nobody no more. Anybody who's supposed to get it, let them get it. And anybody who's supposed to be preserved, preserve them. Those prophecies abound throughout the Old and New Testament. Well, not throughout the New Testament, but what the Messiah was talking about when he spoke in parables. So they're going to come and do what they do. They're going to gather the sheep. They're going to gather the wheat, rather, and place them into the barn for safekeeping. And the tares going to be gathered and thrown into the fire. Tares and wheat look just alike. So sometimes, unless you tapped in and tuned in, you don't know if you're looking at a wheat shoot or tear, weed. You don't know if you're looking at wheat or weed, okay? So, but it's about to get sorted out, y'all. So until Wednesday, I will see y'all. Thank y'all for being here tonight. And y'all be good. Thank y'all, man. I love y'all. Love each and every one of y'all. Hit the like button on your way out and tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You got to show it. And stay authentic. Stay authentic, y'all. Stay authentic, all right? That's all I got for y'all tonight. Peace, family.